Christadelphians secretly believe in the immortality of the soul. Christadelphians claim to reject the doctrine of the immortality of the soul, yet their actions and theological inconsistencies suggest otherwise. Despite their public stance against traditional Christian doctrines, they continue to participate in practices they label as unscriptural, such as celebrating Christmas, organizing church choirs, and even sharing images of the cross, an object condemned as blasphemous in Eureka, an exposition of the apocalypse by Dr. John Thomas. These double standards reveal a deeper contradiction within Christadelphian theology, particularly regarding their understanding of consciousness and the nature of sin. This issue has become especially evident in the Sale and Stockport ecclesias in the Manchester area. When presented with scientific evidence that consciousness is a physical property of the brain, Christadelphians dismissed the findings, accusing those who shared this information of going beyond the Bible. Such a reaction raises an important question. If they truly believe that consciousness is entirely dependent on the physical body, why would they reject scientific evidence supporting this view? Their reluctance to accept the physical basis of consciousness suggests an underlying belief in the immortality of the soul, even if they refuse to admit it openly. Instead of acknowledging scientific discoveries, Christadelphians insist on abstract explanations, often replacing the term soul with life. However, life is itself an abstract term that does not accurately convey the physical nature of human existence. This preference for abstraction extends to their changing views on demons. Traditionally, Christadelphians interpreted demons in the New Testament as symbolic representations of physical illnesses, aligning with historical medical explanations. However, recent shifts in their interpretation have led them to claim that demons symbolize the Exodus or the Roman occupation of Judea, reducing Jesus' healings to mere acted parables. This revisionist approach is problematic for several reasons. First, it undermines the suffering of those afflicted with diseases in biblical times. By dismissing demonic possession as a symbolic reference to political oppression, Christadelphians minimize the real illnesses that Jesus healed. Second, this shift contradicts their earlier position, which acknowledged that biblical references to demons were linked to medical conditions rather than supernatural entities. Now, by redefining demons in abstract political terms, they have abandoned their traditional medical understanding in favor of an interpretation that lacks historical or textual support. The rejection of the physical basis of consciousness has further theological implications. If consciousness is indeed a function of the brain, then impulses to sin must also be physical, originating from the brain itself. The Bible frequently speaks of sins of the flesh and sin in the flesh, yet Christadelphians have sarcastically dismissed this idea by suggesting that sin cannot reside in physical tissue, such as skin. However, the brain is also flesh. It is the physical organ responsible for thought, emotion, and decision-making. If sin arises from human nature, and human nature is governed by the brain, then sin must have a physical basis. Consciousness, as understood through modern science, is a biochemical process that emerges from the physical interactions within the brain. Neuroscientific research has shown that mental states, including awareness, emotions, and thoughts, are the result of complex biochemical reactions within neurons and their synapses. The brain's electrical activity, regulated by neurotransmitters and other chemicals, produces the conscious experience. Studies have demonstrated that damage to specific regions of the brain can alter or eliminate particular aspects of consciousness, further supporting the view that consciousness is entirely dependent on the physical brain. These findings contradict the notion of an immaterial soul and emphasize the fundamentally physical nature of human consciousness. The idea that consciousness arises solely from the biochemical processes within the brain aligns with a materialistic understanding of human nature, where the mind and body are inseparable, and the mind ceases to exist when the body dies. Psalm 146 emphasizes the physical nature of human consciousness and death, reinforcing that consciousness is inherently tied to the body. In verse 4, the psalmist says, "When his spirit departs, he returns to the earth. On that very day, his thoughts perish." The Hebrew word for spirit here is ruach, which is often translated as spirit, but more accurately refers to air or the animating force of life. This breath is the physical force that sustains life in the body, and when it departs, consciousness ceases. This aligns with the teaching in Ecclesiastes 12:7, which states, "The dust returns to the earth as it was, and the spirit returns to God who gave it." Both passages emphasize that the animating force, or ruach, which is a physical property tied to the brain and body, returns to God upon death, signifying the end of conscious existence. Thus, consciousness is not an immaterial entity, but a physical property of the brain that ceases when the body dies. By rejecting this conclusion, Christadelphians inadvertently align themselves with the traditional doctrine of the immortal soul. Their resistance to scientific evidence indicates a reluctance to fully accept the material nature of human consciousness. If they truly believed that consciousness ceases at death, they would have no reason to reject the scientific conclusion that consciousness is entirely dependent on the brain. Their avoidance of this issue suggests an underlying discomfort with the idea that all human thought and identity are tied to a physical structure that perishes at death. These contradictions expose the hidden influence of the very doctrine Christadelphians claim to oppose. While they outwardly deny the immortality of the soul, their theological inconsistencies and rejection of scientific evidence suggest that, on some level, they still hold to an immaterial understanding of human consciousness. Whether consciously or not, Christadelphians have embraced a dualistic mindset that separates consciousness from the physical body, a view that is indistinguishable from the belief in an immortal soul.
That's perfect, that is.